There we go. Boker Tov, good morning. Welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai. Wonderful to be here with you and to see and to be seen and to see you streaming in. Please go ahead and send a message to me and to our other participants as we join together in Boker Tov from Temple Sinai. Temple Sinai's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. Good morning, Seymour and Annette and Joni and each and every one of you who's with us today, this morning, whether here on Zoom or together with us on YouTube. Boker Tov. It's wonderful to be here together during this week of Bamidbar, the beginning of the book that discusses further stories from our people's time in the wilderness in ancient times, but that really discusses us as well. We find depth in Torah itself and in all kinds of modern examples of Torah, including the poetry of Rich Orloff, from which I will share another poem today, as I am wont to do on Tuesdays. But let us begin with our prayer for gratitude, for appreciation of being awake and alive and here together this morning. Please join me in affirming the physical miracle of our abilities. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam bechokma, uvra'avo nekavim nekavim, chalulim chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei chisech vodecha, she'im yipatech echad mehem, o yisatem echad mehem, אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה, אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And let's join together in acknowledging the profound gift that is that spirit, that is the soul. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And let's join together, La Sok B'divrei Torah, to affirm our commitment to Torah. This Sunday night is the beginning of Shavuot, the holiday of the giving of Torah. We'll be having a service, of course, at 6:30, followed by a study session honoring Torah and honoring 50 years of rabbinic Torah from Rabbi Larry Englander. We hope you'll be able to join us in person. And please join us now in this prayer affirming the power of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. V'arev na Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toratcha b'finu, ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו, וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך, ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה, אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud av va'em, to honor fathers and mothers, ugmilut chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness, vashkamat bet midrash shacharit v'yarvit, to attend the house of study morning and evening, v'achnasat ochim, to welcome the stranger, uvikul cholim, to visit the sick, v'achnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms, ulvayat hamet, to keep faith with the dead, V'yun tefillah, to pray with sincerity, v'hava'at shalom ben adam lechavero, to make peace when there is strife, v'talmud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. And let us continue with our Birchot HaShachar, our morning blessings. We're going to start the first one half Hebrew, half English, the second one entirely in Hebrew and continuing to alternate, except the first blessing on the top of the next page is our blessing Matir Asurim, for setting free the captive, something that each day and every day we have an ongoing obligation to do, to speak up about the hostages, to support their families and their loved ones, to help them navigate an unethical, criminal, terrorist, impossible circumstance. We stand with them by reciting that blessing in symbolic form in Hebrew and English, and then in Hebrew, and by standing with them for real. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. You have given the rooster the natural wisdom to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzalmenu kidmutenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. You have given me free will. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you have helped me provide for my needs. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you clothe the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. And again in half English, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you release those who are held captive. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you help those who are bowed to stand straight. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, roka haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you guide each person's steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you crown Israel with glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten le'ya'ef koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, you remove sleep from my eyes and weariness from my eyelids. And excuse me just for one moment. I apologize for that delay. Reciting all the blessings, 15 blessings in the morning together with our other 3 blessings makes Chai Brachot. It makes 18 different affirmations of our connection to the divine. And now we continue with a recitation from Torah, the Shema Yisrael, that says that we are one with God and that God is one and one with all. So please join me in reciting these words. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha. Ve'ayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'vetecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם. ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטרו אחרי לבבכם, ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Well, this morning, these mornings are real and live and a moment where we're part of the world. But how easy is it to be part of a world that includes more than the physical? Some would say it's very difficult, some would say it's very easy, and everything in between. But eventually, we need to give ourselves permission, the courage to open our hearts, to open our minds, to open our souls to what is larger than ourselves, and to welcome it into our lives. And sometimes it's easier to say that than others. And I really appreciate a touch of humor sometimes in the poetry of Rich Orloff, Torah poetry, meaning that's poetry that really explains and expands ideas from the Jewish tradition. And I would like to share this morning, it being Tuesday, one of his poems that he tongue firmly in cheek called a psalm about references. As I do, I'll share it, say a few words, and then share it again. I tell God that before I'm willing to accept the divine as my deity, I'm going to need to see some references. The sun shines brightly, the breeze blows coolly, the earth brings forth both flowers and food, water flows from vast reservoirs into my cup. Well, that's nice, I say. But what about droughts and storms and bitter cold? What about destruction and chaos? I need a deity that's reliable. As I wait for an answer, I'm feeling smugly satisfied, although worried that if I really want a relationship with the divine, I'm playing too hard to get. I take a walk in a nearby park, relishing the colors and the smells, sensing that each leaf is connected to more than just the trees I can see. As strong as my skepticism can be, my yearning is stronger. So I tell the divine, maybe we can work out a 2-week trial. The leaves make a soft sound in the light breeze. I'll take that as a yes. There are a number of different ideas in this particular work that I find so interesting and compelling. The idea of a 2-week trial, that we don't have to make massive decisions about, I can't connect to what's beyond the physical unless I have a whole theology, a whole thinking about God worked out. But rather, it's about just taking a time and trying. And in the top paragraph that's mentioned here, I think there is this tug of war between wanting to feel like we know we're in control and wanting to know that if we want to have a relationship, even a deep relationship with another human being, let alone a relationship with the divine, we have to let go. We have to accept the openness and the uncertainty that includes and take those risks. And eventually that relationships are for those brave enough to try to enter into them, not for those looking for references, looking for reasons why to start, why to stop, but rather accepting that together with those reasons are other deep connections and feelings and realities that we can know of and experience. One more time. a psalm about references. I tell God that before I'm willing to accept the divine as my deity, I'm going to need to see some references. The sun shines brightly, the breeze blows coolly. The earth brings forth both flowers and food. Water flows from vast reservoirs into my cup. Well, that's nice, I say. But what about droughts and storms and bitter cold? What about destruction and chaos? I need a deity that's reliable. As I wait for an answer, I'm feeling smugly satisfied, although worried that if I really want a relationship with the divine, I'm playing too hard to get. I take a walk in a nearby park, relishing the colors and the smells, sensing that each leaf is connected to more than just the trees I can see. As strong as my skepticism can be, my yearning is stronger. So I tell the divine maybe we can work out a 2-week trial. The leaves make a soft sound in the light breeze. I'll take that as a yes. I hope you appreciated Rich's words today. I really do find a lot of meaning in his writing. Just another way, just like we had some more traditional Torah study yesterday, and today we take the time to share words from a different part of Jewish culture. Um, I think it's a really wonderful opportunity to find different ways to allow our tradition to speak to us. And now let's continue with our prayer for the soldiers of the IDF, for those and all who stand on guard for us, who take on such a risky um, and morally fraught obligation while working for the security of Jews, of Israel, of our way of life. And at the same time, hoping to serve in a way that leads to a better time. Please join me in these words of prayer. מי שבירך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם, ויקוים בהם הכתוב, וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים, וחניתותיהם למזמרות, לא יישאו גוי את גוי חרב, ולא ימדון עוד מלחמה, וישבו איש תחת גפנו, ותחת תאנתו, ואין מחריד, ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand in guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid, and together we say, Amen. Well, let's continue our prayers in this form, acknowledging God's connection to our ancestors and calling forth that connection today as this prayer for those in need of strength and healing, those in our circle of family and friends who need that source of strength and support and need genuine healing, are looking for quality in later days or recovery in earlier ones. Dealing with injury, and especially for all those who are isolated, whether by age or infirmity, or painfully that it's still going on, forcibly isolated as captives to criminal Hamas and their terrorist allies. For each of them, for all of them in need, for the names given to me and given to Temple, for the names placed in the chat and this and other tefillot, we turn to these words of refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו, להחל עמם ולרפאותם, וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום, ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength, reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, Amen. Well, it's very meaningful to me, and I hope to you to have this time each day to connect and reflect, as well as to remember. Recalling the loved ones who died in recent days and weeks, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the period of Shloshim, the past 30 days, we extend our condolences to the families of Joan Turner, Norman Friedman, Shirley Hertzstein, Audrey Albert. And we also remember all victims of terror and war, including terror victims Tsila Gez, Sarah Milgram, Yaron Lashinsky, and those whose lives have been lost, sacrificed in the war in Gaza in these past 30 days. Among those whose lives have been lost, we honor the life and sacrifice of Asaf Kafri, Barak Israel Sagan, Ido Voloch, Noam Ravid, Hillel Ovadia, Ido Ben Zvi, Neta Yitzchak Kahana, Niv Dayag, Yishai Eliakim Urbach, Yosef Yehuda Chirak, Danilo Mokano, Yali Sorol, Yam Fried, Dejan Daniel Sahalo, Tzvi Feldman. And on Yahrzeit today, on the anniversary of their deaths, on this 29th day of Iyar, the last day of Iyar, the 27th day of May, 2025, we honor the life and legacy on Yahrzeit of Melanie Blum, Eric Stephen Budman, Alex Herman, Cyril Levenstein, Nellie Meggett, Benjamin Shane, Florence Singer, David Wasserman. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together towards sanctified by memory, towards glorified by hope. Yitgadal v'yitkadash sheme rabba, be'alma divrach u'te v'yamlich balchute, b'chayechon v'yamechon, v'b'chaye dechol bet Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizban kari v'mu. Amen. Yehe shme rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'ale v'yithalal shemed kudsha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'mu. Amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim, alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mumav, hu yaseh shalom, alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, Amen. Well, Boker Tov to one and all. It's wonderful to be here together. Grateful to all those, especially those who've helped support our efforts. A contribution has been made to the Minyan Fund this morning by Mitch Blum and family, observing Yahrzeit for Melanie Blum. Boker Tov, please join us here tomorrow. As for this day, let's make it a good one.